Triple M Brekkie, you with Elliot Lovejoy, all thanks to Trinity Hyundai, where you can test drive the all-new Hyundai i30 today. And we've been celebrating NAIDOC Week, where maybe for some it's a chance to learn about the history of Australian Indigenous people. For others, it's getting out and celebrating culture, however you may go about it. But there was a disheartening thing I noticed that we'll get to in a second. I've got a guest I want to introduce you to. Myself, I'm proud of where I come from. My family and I grew up on the Torres Strait, went to school on Thursday Island, and forever, wherever we go now, that will be ingrained in who we are. It's very special to me. So I think NAIDOC Week is important for all Australians. Now, I have a guest with me today. She is the Shadow Minister for Indigenous Australians. She's also the Shadow Minister for Families and Social Services, and she is blowing up Twitter, probably unintentionally to start. Linda Burney, hello.
Hi, Elliot. How are you?
I'm okay. I was probably much like you were. I was disheartened after I read a tweet of yours about something that didn't happen, unfortunately, in Parliament this week.
That's right, Elliot. So, and I must say that the Twitter response has been astounding.
Yep.
Malarndirri McCarthy moved a motion in the Senate that the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander flags be displayed in the Senate, and the government voted it down. The vote was very close. It was 28-29, but the government prevailed in disagreeing and disallowing the flags to be flown in the Senate. And I just think that the government's on the wrong side of history. I mean, those flags, both of them, both the Aboriginal and the Torres Strait Islander flag, are flown in a number of other parliaments around the country, including in the Queensland Parliament, the New South Wales Parliament, the ACT Parliament, and the Tasmanian Parliament, and soon the South Australian Parliament, flown respectfully in a unifying manner, without too much fuss.
Linda, I don't understand, because this isn't an argument surrounding an anthem or asking people to make huge changes. This is about wanting to hang a couple of flags of the first Australians. I really don't understand, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the people sitting down in the Senate or Parliament, would not the first thing they do every time they go in, they would pay respect to the original owners of the land?
Well, that's correct, Elliot. That's a really good point. Yeah.
Why would anyone vote against this is I suppose, the question you're asking as well.
Well, I am asking that question, and that's a question that can be only answered by the government.
Yep.
Their reasoning, it certainly was part of the debate that I followed very closely. Government said that the only flag that everyone unites behind is the Australian flag, and I don't think that's
BS.
true, seeing there's a Union Jack stuck in the corner.
That is middle-aged men stuck in their ways. That to hang a couple of flags is...
For the government to vote against that in NAIDOC Week is just astounding.
Linda Burney with us now. I just want to say too, celebrating NAIDOC Week is also about celebrating amazing Indigenous people that have taken big strides for people right across the country. Linda, I'm well aware that you were the first Aboriginal person to be elected in the New South Wales Parliament, and if I've got it right too, the first Aboriginal woman to serve in the Australian House of Representatives. So thank you for all you've done for Indigenous people.
Yes. Thank you, Elliot, and happy NAIDOC Week to all our listeners.